Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by. And if you haven't been here before, where have you been? Everybody else was waiting on you. Like, we were already here, chilling, just hanging out. We were like, where are they? We are waiting. But you got here, so better late than never. Welcome. Don't forget to hit subscribe because you don't want to miss out on this action over here. Yeah. Today, we are going to be reviewing most of the Urban Decay Naked Honey collection. This isn't everything, I don't think. It is a holiday honey pot set, a honey lip plumper, and the Naked Honey palette. All of which I have yet to try. So this is gonna be my review slash first impressions slash opinions slash etc, etc, etc. So if you wanna find out all the tea on all of those things and all of these things, and if you're as excited about this honey as I am, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. Before we begin the actual review and getting into everything here, I want to let you know that it was very difficult for me to decide how I was going to do this video because typically I like to start out reviews that contain an eyeshadow palette with the eyeshadow first. But this little kit here has my eyeshadow base in it, so I need it. So there are some products that I'll be using afterward, like the liner and like the setting spray. I don't know if I'll be using the little mini palette today, but I didn't really know what order I wanted to do this in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just tell you about everything first, starting with the Honey Pot collection. Then I'll dive into the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. Then I'll tell you about the lip plumper. So that's gonna be my designated order of things. So let's go ahead and jump into the Honey Pot. Oh, the puns are never ending. Well, first, this little collection is $59. I didn't remember it being that much, but I guess you're getting quite a bit out of it, so I can see why. But regardless, that's the price, and it contains quite a bit of product, in my opinion anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and read the description from Ulta's website. That is where I bought it from. Actually, everything today I bought from Ulta. And directly from their website, it says, the details for this product are a gift set with Urban Decay's Honey Eyeshadow Primer Potion, an exclusive 6-shade mini honey eyeshadow palette, limited edition amber 24/7 glide on eye pencil, and honey scented all-nighter setting spray. That's pretty cool. Glow all out with the Honey Pot Foursome. Apply the vegan eyeshadow primer potion in Honey Solo for a golden sheen or before shadow for vibrant, crease-free color that lasts up to 24 hours. Golden sheen. Golden sheen eyeshadow primer? That worries me. We'll see. I'll relax. Choose from 6 shimmer and matte shades with the exclusive mini honey eyeshadow palette. Line lids with the limited edition 24/7 glide on eye pencil in amber for a blendable, creamy eyeliner that won't budge. Finish your look with honey scented all-nighter makeup setting spray for a sweetly scented finish and zero makeup meltdowns for up to 16 hours. Eyeshadow shades are Buzzed, Glazed, Sticks, California, Drizzle, and Stun. The Honey Pot collection includes a full-size honey eyeshadow primer potion, a full-size 24/7 glide on eye pencil in amber, a travel-size honey scented all-nighter setting spray, and a mini honey eyeshadow palette. Now I want to kind of show you what these look like as I open them, just so you can get truly the full experience, honey. So if we open the box, oh, there we go. Oh, primer potion. 24/7 glide on pencil in amber. I think I have a 24/7 glide on pencil that's really close to this shade that may or may not have been a limited edition also. I'm gonna swatch them side by side so we can see them if I can ever get this out of here. Let's skip that for now. That's out. And now palette. Also, I forgot to tell you, the items in this box are valued at $89 or so it says, and you're getting them for $59. So you get a $30 savings. That's not too bad. That's essentially a free product. Now the Glide On eye pencil I had was from a holiday collection last year, 2018. Yes, 2018. This is in the shade Starfire. This is the one that I thought was really close to this, but it's not. I actually got this one at the same time called Space Dust. And to me, this is like the perfect shade in between Starfire and Space Dust. If you were to combine those two, I feel like it would make amber. But anyway, this is amber. And let me show you a little swatch of her. Oh wow, that is beautiful. That is like liquid cinnamon. Hold on, let me get you a close-up. There you go. It literally looks like liquid cinnamon. That's really cool. So now we know what Miss Amber looks like. Now, it said that this eyeshadow primer, it said it has a golden sheen. Golden sheen. What? And that's an eyeshadow primer? Huh. Okay, well, the lighter color, this one, that is the Honey eyeshadow primer. Let me show you a close-up of that as well. There is the eyeshadow primer. Gorgeous, yes. Scary to put on my eyelid, maybe, but still very pretty. Now, the cute little Urban Decay mini honey palette. It's so adorable. There is no plastic sheet in it. And those are our 6 shades. That definitely looks like a honey palette. And let's swatch these shades really quick. First is the shade Glazed. That's pretty. Then the shade Buzzed. Also very pretty, wow. And then the shade Drizzle. Okay. That one is definitely a transition shade, no doubt on me. And then the shade Sticks. Then this is the shade California Honey. Versus like me, being an Arkansas honey. Then the shade Stun. That one's not quite as pretty. My swatch, I mean. My swatch wasn't quite as pretty. So based on these swatches, this palette, it's very basic, it is. I mean, it's a 6-pan palette that's based on honey. So yes, pretty basic whenever it comes to your neutrals and what transition colors you would get, but the shimmers in here and these metallic shades are gorgeous. At least swatching. I don't know how they perform on the eye, but swatching, they are stunning. And I feel like the shade Stun, the deepest shade right here, could blend out and be sort of matte looking. And I feel like that could be built up in the crease to deepen up a crease to kind of add a little more dimension. I don't know how well this would work on deeper skin. I feel like you would definitely have to put down an eyeshadow base. Not for the lighter shimmers, of course, because those would like really pop, but those mattes would definitely need either a tacky base or a lighter base to stick to. I feel like. I could be wrong, but I feel like. And that was the Urban Decay Honey Mini Palette. Now we're gonna check out the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray in Honey. I'm so excited to smell this. I haven't smelled it yet, and I'm curious. Oh yeah, it's honey. Is the eyeshadow primer scented? No, it is not. All right, that was the Honey Pot set. So we checked out everything we got in there. The mini palette, the all-nighter in honey, the 24/7 Glide On pencil in the shade Amber, and the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in honey. And now I kind of changed my mind. I want to go into the palette last because that's going to be kind of the focus of everything. So now we're going to talk about the Urban Decay Honey Lip Plumper. This looks really cool because it's metallic gold. I mean, why would that not be cool? And this is $22. Pretty standard, in my opinion, for Urban Decay's lip product pricing. This came in 3 flavors or scents, colors, whatever you will. This one is honey, and the other 2 are heat, which is a burgundy, and cherry, which is a peachy pink. This one is definitely light gold, and we're gonna check that out now. Oh, that's really pretty. I like that. That packaging is gorgeous. Let's go ahead and just get my lips all plumped up for later. Oh, it looks like a wand out of a honey pot. Is this their standard gloss applicator? I don't actually think I have any Urban Decay glosses. I don't know, but this looks like what you would stir honey in a honey pot with. That is such a big applicator. That literally tastes like honey. It's making my tongue tingle though. I shouldn't eat it. Oh, but it tastes so good. It literally tastes like I just put honey on my lips. It's a pretty sheer gloss. I don't really see a whole lot of tint. I do see the glitter, for sure. Definitely see the glitter. It's a lot of little tiny gold particles of glitter, but I think because of my skin tone and my lips being as pigmented as they are already, this isn't super bright. You can see kind of a tint though. So kind of typical of most lip glosses in my opinion. I definitely feel the plumping nature of the product. Not quite as intense as, say, Too Faced lip injections, but it's got that continuous prickly feeling. I still can't get over that flavor though. The flavor is just so good. Now the details on Ulta's website say, want to maximize every look with an over-the-top finish? Urban Decay Lip Plumpers got you covered with 3 irresistible shades and tantalizing scents: honey, cherry, and heat. Honey Lip Plumper creates a light golden glow with the intoxicating scent of honey. Cherry Lip Plumper is an iridescent, peachy pink sparkle that teases the scent of everyone's favorite forbidden fruit. Heat Lip Plumper smolders with its sheer burgundy shimmer and spicy sweet cinnamon scent. Caffeine, jojoba oil, and sunflower oil combine to give you smooth, intense shine with a cooling and plumping sensation that creates the appearance of fuller lips. Let's just say your next makeout session is gonna be intense, honey. It didn't say that, but I added it. Okay, cool. Well, it does feel very nourishing. I'll give it that. It feels smooth on my lips. It's not like, it's thick. It's really, really thick, but it's not like a gummy thick. It's staying on my lips thick. It doesn't feel like it's stringing, and that's essentially everything there is to know about the Urban Decay Honey Lip Plumper. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's get naked, honey. I can't help myself, I'm sorry. As you can see, this is the Urban Decay Naked Honey Palette. Packaging is beautiful. It looks like somebody just scooped a little scooper thingy through a vat of honey and it made a bunch of little swirlies. And it is also reflective, just like the lip plumper packaging. And then on the back, we have the ingredients. It shows the brush that comes in it, which is a double-sided honey toned brush, which I'm assuming is specific to this palette. And it also lists out all the shades that are in the palette. And now, if we open her up, that is so beautiful. Literally mesmerizing. Okay, I could keep doing that all day, so I have to stop. Anyway, this is what the palette itself looks like. As you can see, it is very gorgeous. It looks like it's metallic. It's plastic, tricked ya. And it is very reflective. It too looks like a spoon went through a vat of honey and swirled around, when in fact it did not. And now on the back, pretty plain, not really super reflective, it's just normal. And at the top it says beauty with an edge. Now we flip it back over and we open it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ah! Oh! This is the palette, the brush. Where is that brush? Oh my goodness. Here's the brush, I found it. We'll just tuck that right back in there. I do like that this brush matches the palette and it says Naked Honey on it. I think it's kind of cool that the brush is branded for the palette. I never really use them. Not that I'm opposed to them. I don't think they're bad. I actually think they're pretty good. And I do carry double-ended brushes in my makeup bag, or like my travel brush kit, like my on-the-go brush kit, whatever you want to call it. I like double-ended brushes in that because they're convenient. Anyway, this is the Urban Decay Honey Palette. I also got this from Ulta and it was $49. And as you can see, it is definitely a naked palette. If you haven't ever seen a naked palette before, I did review the Naked Reloaded palette. That's the only other naked palette that I've used personally. If you want to see that video, I will leave it linked right up here so you can check it out if you'd like. That was actually a really fun video. I got naked for the first time on my YouTube channel. It was really cool. Anyway, the details on Ulta's website are raw and sticky sweet, just the way nature intended. Get hooked on Urban Decay's Naked Honey eyeshadow palette. Its 12 golden neutrals include classic golds, warm ambers, and rich chocolate browns. Reach for amber, it practically glows. Create the perfect hazy smoked out eye with Sting, warm brown matte. Or get hooked on honey, intense gold metallic. for the ultimate 70s statement eye. Blending your best look from daytime matte to sultry metallic. It's easy since the Naked Honey palette comes with a vegan and cruelty-free double-ended brush. You won't find another palette that's this sweet. Then in the how to use section, this is actually really interesting to me. It says, create a hazy smoked out look using the tapered end of the brush to diffuse and blend out the crease with Swarm or Keeper. Add depth with shades Hive, Drip, and Sting. Reach for any metallic shade to create an intense spotlight and draw attention to the center of the lid, or add drama to the waterline or inner corner of the eye. Choose your favorite 24/7 Glide-On eye pencil. Urban Decay loves Deep End, Vice, Woodstock, and Torch for this look. And fill in the entire lid. Lightly dust shade Golden or Honey on top to create a custom backlit pop of color. And then beauty hacks. To achieve the ultimate 70s statement eye, saturate the eyeshadow brush with all-nighter setting spray and reach for shades Honey, Amber, and Golden. The gilded colors combined with all-nighter create a super silky look that lasts. Create a custom 24-hour cream eyeshadow by mixing in a small dollop of eyeshadow primer potion and your favorite shade of shadow. The color instantly lays down extra intense and smooth, plus you'll stay crease-free for up to 24 hours. Brown shades can double for brows, and golden shades are perfect for using as highlighters. I think it's really, really cool that they put that on the website. I'm assuming that came from Urban Decay's website as well. But just the fact that they added in those tips that you can do with the eyeshadow palette to extend the use of it to the face as well, plus mixing it with some of their other products to create an even more attainable look for any kind of goal you want to achieve with it, that is really, really awesome to me. I think that's cool. Just going that extra mile, coming up with that, you know, extra little bit of advice. That's awesome. I love that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in and we're gonna get started on these swatches. All right, our first shade is Flyby. Next is the shade Sweet. Pretty much my skin tone. And then the shade Swarm. My summer skin tone. Then the shade Amber. Wow, that is impressive. And then the shade Keeper. The shade Golden. The shade Honey. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. The shade Queen. The shade Hive. The shade Drip. The shade HBIC. And then the shade Sting. And that is the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette in its entirety. And of course, as always, I will show photos of the swatches, one with flash here. And one without flash here. And here is my little video snippet of my swatches close up so you can truly see what it is we're looking at up here. Oh. Beautiful. Those swatches were pretty bomb, if I do say so myself, because I feel like from the Reloaded palette to this palette, the formula for the shimmers is a little more creamy, like they feel a little more wet. And the formula for the mattes also. The mattes still are kind of on that, like, I guess I want to say the drier side of what I know mattes to be, or what I'm used to with a lot of mattes that I use, but they still hold pigment well. if that makes sense. Anyway, we all know it's not about the swatch, it is about the performance on the eye. And that is what we're going to try before this palette can really fly up in the sky so very high. Doesn't make sense anymore, I just wanted to rhyme. Anyway, I want to go in with the Honey Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion now, and I'm scared of this a little bit, just a tad. I personally have never used a, what would you say, metallic eyeshadow primer on my eye. I don't really know what to expect out of this or what I'm gonna do with it, but we're gonna use it. Oh my goodness. Does this go all over or what? I immediately feel like this should be more of like a liquid eyeshadow than an eyeshadow primer. It seems like it starts to thin out and you start losing some of that metallic sheen that it has, but I'm gonna keep going. I believe it is decided that my eyeshadow base is going to be shimmery, meaning my look is going to start shimmery. The thing I'm curious to see is if a matte shade is gonna be able to build up on this, because I don't know how that's gonna happen if it does, but we're gonna try it. Worst case, I just need to go in with my regular primer potion. First, I'm gonna take my Morphe M330 and we're gonna go into the shade Swarm. And I'm just gonna start to apply this in the crease. I do see the metallic sheen kind of dulling down a little bit as I'm building up this matte eyeshadow on top of it. So that's good if you don't necessarily want that metallicness to show up. It looks like it can be toned down. I mean, honestly, this is pretty much completely covering it. I still see that sheen underneath it. Like I can still see a little bit of a reflect, but it's not crazy insane anymore. It's not like super intense like it was. And I'm just trying to blend this shade up a little bit as well. Not quite covering all of the eyeshadow base that I laid down, but almost going all the way up. It's kind of right below the brow bone, honestly. Okay, that's really pretty. I really like the tone of those shades together. Now I'm going to take my Morphe M433 brush, the crease blending brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Hive. I'm going to use this to attempt to start deepening up my crease. I was actually going to try and avoid using the shade Sting if I could help it until the very end, because I wanted to do like a deep smoky liner with it, but I don't know if I'll be able to deepen up the look enough without using it. I don't know yet, we'll see. This is so gorgeous with that other shade. It blends in really well. Okay, so one thing that I do and don't like about this eyeshadow base is I can't really see my blend work. Like I can't see if Hive has blended in to Swarm all the way. I can't see if it's like a smooth blend. I can see that there isn't any patchiness or anything. Like I can see it building, but I can't see the edges between the two shades because the reflection from the eyeshadow base is really intense and it's hard to see the shadow over it, or it's just blended so well that I can't really tell. That could be the case. Now that I think I've applied Hive as much as I want to deepen up the crease area, I'm gonna go back in with the Morphe M330 and back into the shade Swarm again, and I'm just gonna go around the edges and just kind of work that in a little bit more, just to make sure, even though it seems good, that it's even more perfect than what I think it is. I'm a sucker for excessive blending. Like I feel like the more you blend, the better off you are with a look. So even if I can't see it, I have no problem with blending it just a little bit more. Now, this is where I'm going to try and deepen things up without having to use the shade Sting. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna try it. So I'm gonna use my Morphe M514 brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Drip. We're gonna start applying this just in the crease and working it solely into the crease, nowhere else. Back and forth and back and forth. Well, unfortunately, I don't think the shade Drip is gonna let me deepen this as much as I wanted to. Well, before I say that, let me try to just apply it right on the outer corners of my lid and see how deep that looks. Okay, I think that one deepened it up quite a bit. It's not as deep as I imagined, but it's still really deepened up and I still really like it. And I think it's gonna be deep enough to show off just as much as I want it to show off. So, I am now going to take the shade Honey and apply that right through the center of my lid. And I'm doing this with a dry brush. I just want to see how it works. I want to see what the kind of shimmer it has. Okay. Hello, Urban Decay. This is a good one. You did good, Urban Decay. Oh, this is a Morphe M124. Sorry, I forgot. It's just a flat packing brush. Okay, so I'm gonna make this as spotlighty as I can. I'm gonna take it up right to the edge of my crease, and also gonna work it on the outer edges just a slight bit. Not gonna take it too far because I want it to seem like there is literally a little tiny little baby spotlight shining right on my eyelid. This shade is beautiful. They did so good. Wow, look at that. Now just gonna take the Morphe M514 brush and go back in all around the shade Honey, just to make sure I have clean edges everywhere. You never want to have dirty edges. Honey, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do that anymore. I'm done. I'm gonna first take the Morphe M506 brush, little tiny fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Flyby. Yes, I said Flyby. This is probably so dumb. I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm gonna start to do it lightly and see how I like it, but I'm gonna take this and put it right toward the inner corner. My goal here is to cover up as much of the shine from the eyeshadow primer as I can without like ruining everything, you know? I just want to build up this white shade right in the inner corner area. I mean, kind of like that, really. Is that super terrible? Does that take away from the halo? I mean, yeah, a little, but it's not bad, right? I don't think it's bad. I mean, I kind of like it. It's different, you know? Now I'm just gonna take the Morphe M330, the brush that I started with, go back into the shade Swarm, and I'm just gonna use this to buff and blend this upper crease area-ish and use it to blend into the white, just so the blend is seamless. That's all. Now just going back in with the Morphe M506 again, the one that had Flyby on it, and just back and forth, adjusting those into each other, blending them gently back and forth, just to make sure everything is perfect. You know, now that I'm looking at this, not really far away, but like far away, like seeing the whole picture, it really made it look like it was more opened up in the middle or like in the center of my face, and it kind of just drags out. And I'm really digging it. Like, I really like the white in the center. I thought it was gonna throw off the whole spotlight eye, but good news, I have hooded lids, so when I open my eyes and look at you, you can't see I did a spotlight eye anyway. So now I have two looks in one. A spotlight eye when I close my eyes, and a light in the middle, dark on the outside look with my eyes open. No matter what you want to call it, I think it looks really pretty. And now, going in with this Morphe long brush that I still don't know the name of. It's what I use for my brow bone highlights all the time, or sometimes my inner corner highlight. Either way, I'm gonna go into the shade Golden. That is a very soft shimmer, by the way. And I'm gonna pop that right on my brow bone. Ooh, ooh, oh my goodness. This is gorgeous. I love this so much. It's very honey. Now I'm gonna take the Morphe M215 angled liner brush, super tiny brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Sting, and I'm going to lightly wing this out on the side, and then drag that inward all across my lash line. And that is that line completely built up now. It really just looks like I have a super soft wing of brown. I kind of took it out a little bit further than what I originally intended to, but that's okay, because it doesn't look bad. It just looks a little more dramatic than I was going for. I was going for more along the lines of like cat eye type length, but like I said, I'm still digging this. It's all right. See, I think the really cool thing about powder liner like this, like if you make a liner with powder liner, is that if you decide that you don't like it, you can either A, take your nail and a makeup wipe and just lightly dab over it a little bit, go back in with the shadow you had on before, and boom, you fixed it. Or if it's not a super dark shade, then you can just go back in with the shadow without even having to take it off and just blend it out into oblivion. But I'm really happy with this. I feel like when I hold my eye like this, you can still see that spotlight on my lid, but you can also see the dimension that the wing gives and the lift that it gives to the outside of the eye. So I really like that. I'm kind of standing this palette. I told myself I wouldn't fall in love again. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and get this done on the other eye. Give me just a second, I'll be right back. Actually, hold that thought. Edit to what I just said. I said that I was gonna do the same thing on this eye off camera, but I'm actually gonna change it up a little bit. On this eye, I'm going to use my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the shade Eden, because I wanna see what this eye would look like with this instead. We know that this is super golden-y, and when I took pictures with flash a second ago, it looked like just gold. That's all you could see was the gold reflection coming from it from the flash. That's not what's happening right now, but that's pretty much all you could see. So I wanna see what happens with this one. So I'm gonna do this eye off camera with this eyeshadow base and come back and hope that it's at least close to the same. See you in a second now. And we're back! Both sides are officially done. One with Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Eden. One with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Honey. Can you see a difference? I definitely can. This one is very much more orangey based. This one is very much more white based, and you can clearly see that difference between the two. This one is much more saturated in pigmentation with that undertone, if you will, and this one is dependent completely on the shadow for its undertone. I will say that when it comes to detail work and blending work, the side with the shade Eden on it is much more helpful and lets you see that better, and it also kind of shows off your work a little bit better if you're proud of it. If you're not, this side works out because it kind of hides what you do to it, because it reflects so much of that orange shade and the light from underneath that it almost blends it for you, or at least makes it appear blended with the shadow on top. So take that for what you would like. I think I personally like probably the shade Eden a little bit better than the shade Honey, just because I like how it makes everything show up a little more clear, you know? It makes what I wanted to pop, and makes what I wanted to recede a little bit better, and this side kind of flattens everything, in my opinion. But this side is much more glowy and much more like flashy, but I feel like the shade Honey is gonna be more like a topper for me, or like a liquid liner or some kind of derivative of that. It's gonna need to have a purpose to be a metallic base rather than just all over base. But anyway, that's the tea on the difference between Eden and Honey. So now I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my complexion products and get my face done so that I can come back and we can finish off the eye look and give my final thoughts on the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. So one more time, I will see you in just a millisecond. Okay, honey, my face makeup is now complete. Sounds like Mark's been waiting on me to get ready. But as you can see, we have the matching eyes with the full face, and I actually went in with the shade Golden and Flyby combined as my highlighter. First I started out with Golden, and it was a little too deep for my skin tone, just barely. I mean, just right there, but I could see a little bit of a golden cast whenever I would face forward. So of course that wasn't the most beautiful thing in the world, so I added on a little bit of the shade Flyby right on top, and it was the perfect touch. It turned it all golden with a white sheen to it, and it was just beautiful. Then I used only that shade on my nose, which is really obvious now that I'm on camera, and a little bit on my forehead as well, just to kind of add that little pop of shine. So I thought those were pretty cool that I could add and make it a little more versatile and work for me the way I wanted it to. So now I just want to set my face fully with the Urban Decay All Nighter Honey Spray. That is a gust, a very strong gust. Now I do believe that that's dry, and it feels very refreshing and like honey, so that's kind of nice too. Like if you were to smell my face right now, you would want a bowl of honeycomb. You would. Or Honey Nut Cheerios, either one. Minus the nut. Or maybe include the nut, because I get kind of nutty sometimes. Anyway, I digress. Now I'm going to take the Morphe M514 yet again, and I'm going to go into the shade Drip yet again. This is the same shade that I used on the outer and inner lid, and I'm just going to start buffing this across the lower lash line. Then gonna go back in with the M330 Morphe brush and back into the shade Swarm yet again, but I'm gonna take the tiniest bit and just very lightly go in with just the tip right along the outside of that and smoke it out, just to kind of add that honey orange type glow to the lower lash line as well. I might have brought it a little low, but that's okay because I still love it. It just makes it look a little more blown out, that's all. And now, I didn't realize it, but whenever I took my concealer up close to my inner corner eye section, I got rid of a little bit of the shade Flyby that was in that inner corner, so I'm gonna go back in with the Morphe M506 brush, go back in with the shade Flyby, and just add that back right in here. Just so all the work that I did earlier doesn't disappear completely, because I still want that white to show. Okay, it's exciting. We're nearing the end of the look. Now, on the same Morphe brush that I had my brow bone highlight, the shade Golden, I want to go back into that same shade and add just the tiniest bit right on my lower lash line. And I want this just to be right in the center of my eye, kind of right where the spotlight is, just so it adds that little pop on the lower lash. Next, it is now time to go in with the 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Amber. Okay, that is officially the 24/7 Glide On Pencil from Urban Decay in the shade Amber. And I think it's rather pretty. Yeah, I like it. I need to put mascara on, but I'm first going to do my lips because I want to use this lip plumper again, but I need to line my lips first. But first, I want to use my Gerard Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Nude. I just want to give my lips a nice clean edge, or try to, before I go in with the plumper, just to make it more of like a look, you know? Okay, went ahead and filled my lips in about halfway with lip liner. They're pretty full. But now gonna go in with the Urban Decay Honey Lip Plumper. I know I started with this, but that was like a prep. Now I'm using it as like a cosmetic aesthetic. Alright, plumper is now applied and I am feeling the tingle. That is for sure. It's a very tasty tingle, so that's okay. Now, while that tingle is making my lips big and juicy, I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes and put on some mascara. And then after I finish that, I will be right back to give my final opinion of the Urban Decay Honey collection. Eyelashes are curled and mascaraed, so we are officially done with the look. Does it look honey? It feels honey. Honey. How many times did I make that joke this video? I need to stop. But seriously, let's get real, okay? So this is a very honey look for sure. I am very honey looking. It's got that warm golden glow. I'm glad the highlight was in the eyeshadow palette. I'm glad that there was a shade that I could use for a highlight. I think it would look even better on deeper skin than it would my skin because it would really give that golden glow without being too overcasty. So there's that. Overall, I actually really like the look that I was able to create with this collection, and I'm happy with the current results that I have. First, I want to go over the Urban Decay Honey Pot collection that had the 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Amber, the eyeshadow primer potion in the shade Honey, the all-nighter setting spray in the scent Honey, and the mini Urban Decay Honey palette. Based on price, this is definitely a good deal. This is just gonna come down to if you like the products or not and think they're worth it. For the eyeshadow base, I personally don't like this as an all-over base. I won't reach for this over and over again because it is so shimmery. I think it worked for this look because on this side, it has more of an orangey undertone and it kind of gives like that, I don't know, almost deeper orange glow, and obviously on this side it doesn't. I mean, you can tell a difference between the honey base and the eyeshadow primer potion in Eden. But regardless, I personally like the Eden more. I can make the product go further with what I want to use it for. I feel like this is only gonna work with honey looks or like orange toned looks. Or it could be a topper for shades, or maybe even use as a liquid liner, but I just feel like it's too limited in its ability, so I don't know that I quite think this is worth it, but I get it for the collection. The 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Amber, I want to own all of these, so I think this is definitely worth it. I'm always growing this collection. The all-nighter setting spray in Honey, I don't think you can ever have enough all-nighter setting spray, so why not have it in Honey as well? I have the Summer Solstice and the original, so I'm happy to add this to the collection, and I bring my makeup to school with me a lot, so it's nice to be able to have a palette like this that's available easily and small, that if I did want to quickly whip out just a 1-2 honey look, then I have the option to if I feel like it. I just like that it came with it anyway. So essentially, I paid 60 bucks for these 3 products, which isn't really that bad. I'm sure I'm gonna find uses for the eyeshadow base in Honey now that I have it, but it's just not something I would buy on its own. Then for the Urban Decay Lip Plumper in Honey, I really like this because it tastes so good. The plumping, I don't know that I feel any like hardcore plumping. I like a lot of plump. I do like the intensity of the Too Faced lip injection. I want it to be extreme. I want it to burn because the more it burns, the more I feel like it's working and making my lips bigger. If it burns, it's working, you know? And I just don't feel like this is a strong enough plumper, but I do like it as a gloss. I think it's a really pretty gloss. It doesn't have a whole lot of sparkle. It's not like over the top with the sparkle. You can see it if you get up close, but it looks pretty much like a clear gloss with a gold tint. I do feel like there are tons of other glosses that you could get that could dupe this in some way. Definitely not the flavor. The flavor is one of a kind, for sure. I've never tasted anything like this in a lip gloss. In a lip product, period, I've never tasted anything like this. But when it comes to the effect that it gives and the color that it is, you could probably dupe this pretty affordably. And then, the Urban Decay Naked Honey Palette. This is gonna be complicated, because whenever I went into this, I was a little biased in the sense that I thought, oh, it's another Naked palette, just with like amber tones in it. But once I felt it and I started using it, I don't know if the formula changed in this one or if it's just the shades, like maybe they're made to be better, like these colors are easier to make. I don't know. I can't speak to that. I don't make eyeshadows, I just use them a lot. But this formula feels different. This formula feels better. The metallics go on more metallic. It builds so nicely and it blends really nice as well. The mattes blend into each other seamless. I mean, I really didn't have any problems out of this. Really, no matter what shade I used, I didn't have any problems out of it. They all worked like I expected them to. So I can't put it down at all. The only reason I would say not to get this would be if you just don't like these tones. If you're not for neutral shades and if you need color only in your life, then I wouldn't get this. I feel like it's kind of essential to have at least one staple palette in your collection that's neutrals, just so you have something to fall back on if you do want to do a neutral look. If you only ever have colored palettes, you're never gonna be able to create one, which, I mean, you might not ever create one, but sometimes you need to. I mean, if you're gonna be at somebody's wedding, you don't wanna be the bright, bold, colorful one that outshines the bride. You wanna be the nude, subtle one that sits in the audience and keeps her mouth shut and lets her friend have her day. Really, seriously, you get what I mean. I feel like this is a nice addition to the Naked collection and that whole theme of things. I haven't really seen anything like this because typically the palettes I see are either completely neutral and like warm tone neutral, or it's like full yellow. I haven't really seen a build of neutrals and yellows together, and this is really cool. I personally like this. I like it more than I thought I was going to, and that kind of makes me happy. So ultimately, it's really up to you. If you think that you will enjoy this color story, I can tell you that I enjoyed the quality. It seems better than the Naked Reloaded palette. By the way, PS disclaimer, that is the only other Naked palette I have tried, so that's the only one that I have to compare it to when it comes to the Naked line specifically. But compared to that one, I feel like the formula has changed between that and this. This one just feels better. It feels like it performs better. It seems like it performs better. I honestly think it even swatched better if I remember correctly. Watch the video I linked and remind me. What do you guys think about this look, about this collection, about this palette? Are you completely tired of Urban Decay coming out with Naked palettes? Do you think that it needs to be a staple in others' collections? Or do you think that it should just never be a thing? Or are you Amber watching my video right now and being like, neutrals are my jam and that's all I'll ever use and you can't tell me otherwise? If that is you, then please, then go ahead and like this video. If you are the bright, colorful person, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You can also do that if you're the nude lover as well. And since you did like this video, if you like this look as well and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.